In this chapter, we're going to talk about regular expression processing in Java. A regular expression is a string of characters that's used to describe a character sequence. We call that character sequence, or the regular expression, a character class. So for example, if I'm trying to look for the word Java in a text, then I might put Java as my character class, and that would be the expression that I'm searching for, just the word Java. I'm using the brackets because that's a common way to specify a character class, is via the brackets. But the actual class itself is just the characters JAVA with the capital J. Case matters unless you tell the regular expression that case doesn't matter. So the character class would specify the pattern that you're looking for. So for example, I might specify AEIOU if I'm looking for vowels inside a word or a string of some type. After character class, another component of a regular expression is the wildcard character. The wildcard character in regular expressions is the dot, and the dot will match any character at all. So for example, in a character class, if I wrote J dot, then that would match any string that began with a capital J followed by any other character or no character at all. So the dot is the wildcard character. We also have things called quantifiers. Quantifiers are used to specify matches that can be made. So for example, if we put a plus in a quantifier, that means match one or more of the character class. So for example, we could write JA plus, and that would say match one or more character sequences of JA. Another quantifier is the star. Star means match 0 or more. So here we could write IE star, meaning match 0 or more character sequences of IE. The last quantifier is the question mark, and that means match 0 or more. So for example, I might write J question mark, and that would mean match any two characters after the capital J. That could be 0 or more, so I could match 0 after the J, or 1, or 2, just depending on what string sequences are actually found. A limited example of regular expressions comes in some DOS commands. So let's take a look at a couple of those real quick before we move on to regular expression processing in Java. For example, when I say dir star, I'm saying match any file name and any extension. Here the dot is not actually a wildcard because we use it to signify the separator between the file name and the extension. So dir star matches anything. If I write dir t star, that matches all files that begin with T. If I write dir type star, then I narrow it down to only those files that begin with type. I could also write dir ty question mark star, and notice it doesn't match anything because there's nothing that only has ty followed by 0 or more characters. If I wrote dir ty question mark star, then it matches type.class type.java. Now if I write dir ty 3 question marks star, now it matches those files that have the word type followed by a number. So those are some simple examples of regular expressions. You may or may not already be familiar with those. But that's going to wrap up this brief introduction to regular expressions, and we're ready to move to the first lesson where we're going to discuss how to write a pattern, which is a character class in Java, and what happens when we try to match a pattern with some other text. And we're going to see how to do that in the next lesson.